All right, welcome back, True Seeker. It is late, either Sunday night or early Monday morning, depending on where you are. But we got Jonathan with us, and he's got all kinds of stories. We'll see what he shares tonight. But yeah, just keeping us up to date on the latest ritual hip hop deaths. There's been at least a few in the headlines just in the last week. So anyway, Jonathan, I'll let you hit the floor running, man. Thanks for being here.
Okay, so by the way, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a little after midnight over here.
Yeah.
So so I'm just gonna talk about. I'm gonna start off with Gonzo, and Gonzo's last album is called Masters Massacre, and that equals, and he's on the cover with Donald Trump. Donald Trump equals 48,
Yeah,
and
hold on.
Donald Trump, yeah,
Just your thing cut out right when you were saying the Masters massacre must equal 48 because it cut out for that part, but it must equal 48 like Donald Trump.
yeah, Masters Massacre equals 48.
Okay,
And then this is his last album, and then it's Gonzo with Donald Trump inside the casket,
I see.
and Gonzo has a flower, and he's standing over Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is dead in the casket.
Huh.
And it's an interesting cover if you look at it, and the word homicide equals 48. So Gonzo's group was called Caution. Um, and a little bit of some of this is from your post as well. I didn't know Gonzo died until I actually saw your video.
I think the news just broke. So
So Gonzo was in a group called Caution. Caution equals 45. Gonzo died at 45 years old. This hip hop ritual was another homicide. Both words, hip hop and ritual, equals 45. So Ice Cube discovered and signed Gonzo, and Gonzo died on Ice Cube's 45th day of his age.
at age 45.
At age 45, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
And
after,
I got to make a point that I didn't make in my own video. Again, hip hop is
okay,
45, rituals 45, and then you think about Seattle deaths, both Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley and Nirvana and Alice in Chains. They both died in history on April 5th. Musicians 4-5, again, ritual 45, but also hip hop. And they're saying Gonzo died in Seattle, same city. So just got to point that out.
I'm gonna add that too. So after Gonzo left the group Caution, he joined this group called The Regime. The Regime equals 45. So it's good for the ritual. Like you just mentioned, the word ritual is 45. Hip hop's 45. It's a reason why the hip hop station, Eminem's hip hop station, is channel 45.
Right, shade 45. And again, for the person out there, for the critic that's always hanging around saying, "Yeah, but you guys got multiple ciphers," it's just like, okay, first of all, you're right. We do have multiple ciphers, but they all line up. It's just like a breaking news headline this evening is you have the death of the Hollywood actor, the soap opera actor Jay Pickett, dead at 60. They said he died while filming a movie. It's vague. But he's dead at 60. Jay Pickett, 60. But they saved the news for today, 8-1. He's mostly known for General Hospital, which in Gematria equals 81, and Rituals 81. And what day are they reporting his death at age 60? Today on 8-1. I still remember the headline 3 years ago on this day in 2018. Obama endorses 81 candidates. It's like, come on, man. 81 candidates on 8-1. The Urban Meyer news came out while he coached 81 games at the school he was at the time. It's just, again, you got to know the multiple ciphers. Ritual does equal 45, and there's so many rituals with that number. You just brought up Donald Trump. Donald Trump was called as the 45th president-elect on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. When he wants to build a wall, Berlin Wall is 45, like ritual. We're always talking about hip-hop and 45. Now you mean to tell me it's a coincidence that this man's dead on the 45th day of Ice Cube's age, the man behind him that gave him this start in the community? So anyway, I just got to say that. But
And remember who's the biggest rapper in hip hop as far as just record sales. In 2020, Lil Baby sold the most records out of anybody. Lil Baby equals 45.
man, and just so many things with Lil Baby. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we could have a whole show about him.
Yeah. So.
Wait,
I'm getting confused. Is it Da Baby or Lil Baby?
Lil Baby.
Okay, yeah, Da Baby's in trouble right now for homophobic remarks. So.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Yeah.
Okay.
I got something to say about that too. So back to Gonzo. His last album came out on where Donald Trump is in the casket dead. His last album came out on 1/15/2021. 115. Well, 115 equals killing. Killing is 115. Masonic equals 115. Now this is interesting right here. Gonzo has an album called Decode, but the way you spell it, THA, it equals 29. Gonzo was shot and killed, they reported, on 7/29/2021. He called himself one of Tupac's shooters. Tupac equals 29.
You know what I just realized, man, as you said that?
Yeah.
They saved this news about him for today. Today's the 213th day of the year. Tupac,
Yes.
213, All Eyes on Me, then dead 213 days later.
I was going to mention that.
And now on the 213th day, the more you think about it, the more you just start to realize you're like, and somebody in the chat right now saying, what about Fetty Wap's daughter dead at 4? That's announced today, 213. Remember, death in satanic gematria is 213. So did you know that Fetty Wap's daughter?
Yeah, I just read that.
And we know what's up with 4. 4 symbolizes death. I was just reading that right out of the Manly P. Hall book, a few months back. So
that's a good point. So now the code, when you spell it THACODE, it also equals 56. That's the big number, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just reading it how I wrote it. He was signed to Ice Cube's Lynch Mob Records. Lynch Mob Records equals 73. Full reduction. Sacrifice 73. Ritual Sacrifice 73. So Gonzo's group Caution dropped their debut album in 1995, South Central La Skinless, a tribute to Los Angeles. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the NFL a little bit, okay? So this album called South Central La Skinless was Caution's debut album. And South Central La Skinless equals 85 in the pure cipher. National Football League is 85. Brady, 85. So this death happened just before the start of the 102nd NFL season, where the Super Bowl will be played in Los Angeles, right? So it only makes sense that we get a dead rapper from LA as a sacrifice for the Super Bowl. Now, Gonzo died on a date with 77 numerology. Brady was born in 77. The word power equals 77. He also died on a date with 41 numerology. Super Bowl equals 41. This was also a date with 23 numerology. Brady equals 23. Finally, this was a date with 57 numerology. And this is the championship number. The Super Bowl will be played on a date with 57 numerology. From the day Gonzo died until the Super Bowl is 199 days later. Tom Brady was 199th pick of the 2000 NFL draft.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, this does not mean that the Bucs will be in the game. It's just interesting to note how the NFL is scripted around Tom Brady and these death rituals with rappers, right? So Gonzo's debut album, If I Live and Nothing Happens, equals 131. 131 is the championship number along with 57. Gonzo was killed in Seattle. Seattle is a 206 area code. Sacrifice equals 206. Gonzo equals 82. Seattle equals 82. He was allegedly one of Tupac's soldiers. Soldier equals 82. The word soldier. is 82. Now, Biz Marquis's funeral is today. I'm on the East Coast. Today is 8/2 for another 82, and today is Biz Marquis's funeral.
Okay. And again, just to remind people, Biz Marquis, if you watch his music video for Just a Friend, he's wearing a Georgetown sweatshirt and Georgetown 57 in gematria. And again, it was established the year George Washington turned 57, but he's dead at 57. And of course, entertainers 57. We've been talking about that pattern with entertainers dying at 57 with Prince, Charlie Murphy, and several others before Biz Marquis. But, you know, how funny that he's wearing the Jesuit Georgetown sweatshirt. And I mean, that's the song he's probably known the most for, isn't it? Just a Friend?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So just that music video and, you know, just the Jesuit fingerprints again. Jesuits just being all over all these things.
And speaking of Brady, tomorrow's his birthday, 8/3.
Well, I guess, yeah, because you're already on 8/2. So, yeah, for you, tomorrow is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
And again, I mean, we were just talking about Brady. What are the odds that Boston and Tampa are playing each other in baseball right before Brady's birthday? And we thought yesterday it would make a lot of sense if Tampa won and became 4-4 versus Boston for the year, like 44 right before his 44th birthday. And then we thought today, well, if Boston loses, get the 44th loss of the season against Tampa right before Brady's 44th birthday. Of course, that's what they do 2 days in a row. It's all a script, man. Brady at the White House on the 201st day of the year, the day the Bucks win the NBA Finals.
And remember, 83 is for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years on 8/3. There's always a dead rapper, so look for a dead rapper on 8/3. And especially Brady's turning 44, the rapper might end up being from Tampa. So
they wouldn't get it.
Yeah, they won't. They wouldn't, right?
Are there any Baltimore rappers? Who's from Baltimore that raps? There's got to be. It's a big city.
There's some. I gotta research it. There's some, but I noticed that rappers from Baltimore, they never really get the exposure, I could say, or the shine, or I don't know why that is, but I have a few dead rappers from Baltimore that died in 2020. But yeah, that's a good point though. Baltimore, I'll look into that.
Yeah, there's just something going on with the whole Baltimore thing. Because again, the day that the Bucks were at the White House getting remembered for Super Bowl 55, the Tampa Bay Rays came into that day with 55 wins. Then they picked up their 56th against Baltimore, that's just outside of DC. And of course, Ravens equals 83, like football, like Brady's birthday is 8/3. Lamar Jackson came down with COVID 201 days before the Super Bowl. So something's going on. So yeah, your thought about a dead rapper and how that might fit in, and 8/3 coming up, and, you know, maybe even Baltimore is a city to look out for. But I don't know any Baltimore rappers off the top of my head. So
yeah, me neither. Now in Columbus in 2019, there was a rapper that was shot and killed. Last year, a rapper shot and killed on 8/3. 8/3 always hits, and I could go on, but 8/3 always hits. So here we have. So back to Gonzo, right? We have a shooting in Seattle. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you notice the 38s in Biz Marquis's death?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there were, and in my video on it, I overlooked all of them, but there were several 38s in his death.
I can go back. I could go to it right quick. But so there's a shooting in Seattle 44 days after Ice Cube's birthday. Remember, Ice Cube is the one who signed Gonzo. Shooting 44, Seattle 44. Gonzo was friends with both Ice Cube and Tupac. Shooting, execution, and kill, all 44.
Did you ever realize that Tupac and Ice Cube almost have the exact same birthday?
Yeah, I noticed that. I just noticed that recently.
I just noticed that today because I was like, oh, Ice Cube born June 15th, Tupac June 16th. So this killing of Gonzo was on what would have been Tupac's 44th day of his age, and it was 44 days after Ice Cube's birthday or his 45th day of his age. And it's just like, come on, man. The shooting numbers, the hip-hop ritual numbers. This whole thing with connecting to Tupac, I was thinking, it's like, okay, he was 19 years old, 19, maybe just turned 20 at the time Tupac died. I don't remember. Is there any real connection with Tupac and Gonzo?
He was like an unofficial member of the Outlaws. He wasn't a real member of the Outlaws, but I don't.
Are they on a song together anywhere?
That's a good point. I got to look into that.
They are.
I don't remember him being on a song with Pac.
I think all this is just like so forced. This connection of he was Tupac's friend, but then you start looking at it like, wait a minute, shot in a car. The news on the 213th day of the year. How many times? Like, I can't believe I missed that in my video earlier today because that's what I always talk about with Tupac is the 213 thing. It's just like, look at this shit.
On the 213th day of the year.
Yeah, it's just more undeniable ritual. I don't think Tupac ever had a connection to Seattle. Maybe he did a concert up here, but
yeah, I actually got to add that part, the 213 part. But no, I can't remember no song off the top of my head where they're together. You know, they're like, and then now I know he has a song with Ice Cube, you know, but I can't remember nothing with Tupac. So it was reported he was killed Thursday at a gas station. Thursday 35, Rap 35, gas station 35.
Right.
And so that's what I got for that. So far, you know, the news I just heard about it today. So yeah, so let's go to Biz Markie real quick. Now, what I thought was interesting about Biz Markie's death is this right here, what I'm going to start with. Okay, so 3 months and 8 days. I'm thinking about calling the book 38 Special.
Yeah, that's a fitting name. That's a fitting name right there.
So, Biz Markie, 3 months and 8 days, if you include the end date after DMX died, Biz Markie died. The 38 has shown its ugly head here again. Rapper 38, Death 38, Murder 38, Kill 38, RIP 38. And Biz Markie died 3 months and 3 days after his own birthday. Wait, no, that's not right. That can't be right. Well, I got to edit that part, but so what Biz Markie's birthday was 4/8/2021. The same day DMX was reported to be found in a vegetable state. Biz Markie died 38 weeks before his upcoming 58th birthday. Biz Markie has numbers that will remind you of the death of DMX.
You know what you were right? He died 3 months and 8 days after his birthday, and he died 38 weeks from his upcoming birthday. That's what you meant to write.
Right. Yeah.
You wrote 3-3 instead of 3-8.
That's what I meant to write. Yeah, exactly. I knew that wasn't right.
By the way, somebody in the chat has a question for you too, just about another death. If you know anything about it, the death of E-Die from 600.
Oh yeah, we could get to it. That just happened today. All these rappers just died over like the past couple days.
So all this news, if all this is in the news today again, it's 213 day, and the thing with this Gonzo getting shot in a car and then the news on the turn, it's blatant mockery, man, and it's just it's more proof of what we've been saying all this time, how all this shit is ritual.
Right. I mean, do you think that's what I try to explain to people? Like, we didn't just predict the death of King Von out of nowhere. We predicted his death in March of 2020.
The word is out there because we're doing this. Did you see Lord Jamar?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about that too. Yeah.
So I know that because we're doing this, people are seeing it. So slowly, we're having an impact.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the way he broke it down. He was like, "This just explains their diabolical plan."
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a lot of respect for Brand Nubian, but now I have even more respect for them.
That's the top 500 song tonight, right?
Yep. Yeah.
We'll get to the yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So all right. So E-Day 600 was a Chicago drill rapper. He gets credit along with Pac-Man and Chief Keef for starting drill rap. E-Day was a pioneer in the drill era and was there since the beginning. He even claims that his gang 600 started drill. On 8/1/2021, as reported by the media, he was shot multiple times and killed in Chicago. He and FBG Duck were bitter rivals. Notice how E-Day died 3 days short of the 1-year anniversary of FBG Duck's death, which was on 8/4/2020. E-Day died on the 213th day of 2021, which was yesterday, 8/1/2021, according to the media. So died on the 213th day of the year, just like you just mentioned. Drive-by shooting 213, the N-word 213. Recall KTS's Dre's real name equals 213. KTS Dre was the last big Chicago rapper to die about 2 weeks ago. And remember that everywhere you looked at in the media said he got shot 64 times. And kill equals 64. And he was in the set called Kill to Survive. So anyway, KTS's Dre's real name equals 213. And now E-Day, the rapper that just died yesterday, E-Day equals 19 in English ordinal and full reduction gematria, chaos 19, shot 19, rap 19. Just think about how many 19-year-old rappers I've mentioned dying in this book alone. He first emerged in 2012 thanks to the success of his song Gucci. Now check out all these 25s, right, Zach?
My theory on the 19 deaths, like, I don't know if you saw the story. There are supposedly 3 TikTok stars who were 19-year-olds old died last month. But again, blood sacrifice is 67 and the most. So is human sacrifice. They're both blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, both 67. That's the 19th prime number. Because there's something to 19-year-old entertainers too.
I mean, there's so many 19-year-old rappers that I have. It's like probably I'm just going off the top of my head. Probably the most rappers.
Rap is 19, right? Rap is also 19.
Yeah, rap is 19.
Yeah, that's
out of all the rappers that are dead, right? I probably got more 19-year-olds than any other age. Just going off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And imagine like 19, you're just a baby.
Yeah.
So okay, so now check out this 25 fest, right? Tell me what you think about all these 25s. So now E-Day, who was just killed yesterday, according to the media, right? First emerged in 2012 thanks to the success of his song Gucci. Gucci equals 25, Def 25, Time 25. G Herbo, a drill rapper from Chicago, released his album called 25 on 7/2/2021. He says he called it 25 because he's now currently 25 years old, and the theme is based on him living at this specific age. At the rate drill rappers die, especially from Chicago, I would be very careful if I was G Herbo. Gonzo's death was on July 29, 2021, exactly 25 weeks after his birthday, which was on February 4th, reminding that Tupac died at age 25.
And the rapper who they're saying was Tupac's friend, he's dead 25 weeks after his birthday on the nose. Just that's what I talk about today. Like Tupac died at 25.
Gonzo, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I just said, Gonzo. Yeah. But so now check this out. Now from the day G Herbo dropped this album until the day E-Day died is 4 weeks and 2 days, kind of like that infamous number 42.
That Gonzo, his birthday is February 4th. Day can be written 4/2.
Right.
And Ice Cube equals 42. And you know what? Washington's the 42nd state. In order of statehood, he's dead in the 42nd state. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I got to throw all that in there. Now, if you look at G Herbo's track listing for the album called 25, the first song is called I Don't Want to Die. The very first song is called I Don't Want to Die on the album called 25. Now E-Day 600 is a brother of C-Day 600. C-Day was sentenced to 38 years in prison for the murder of a cab driver. Another example of the number 38 showing up in regards to the death of a rapper. So his brother, C-Day, was sentenced to 38 years in prison. E-Day, the rapper who just died yesterday, his brother was sentenced like 5. He's done like maybe 5 or 6 years already. So he was sentenced to 38 years. So that's all I got on E-Day because this just happened yesterday.
The article says he was either killed late Saturday or early Sunday. It's like, come on, man. How can you know what time? I mean, like.
Yeah, get it right. Yeah. But I think they do that on purpose just to give you conflicting information. So you don't know what to think. You know what I mean? But it's crazy how him and FBG Duck, right? They were beefing and they used to have a lot of diss songs towards each other. And he almost dies on the 1-year anniversary of FBG Duck. Just 3 days short.
Sure. And, well, the thing is, if it was July 31st, that date had numerology of 59. We know what that's all about. And it also had numerology of 79 and murder 79. And again, just the whole Tupac thing. Tupac was supposedly shot on 7/9, September 7th. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking about, you know what I was thinking about doing? Just breaking it up into 2 books. Just doing all the rappers from 2020, and then that way I could just release the book soon because I'm almost like I'm in like late October now, right? Of 2020, and then just releasing the book, which is all 2020, and then all the 2021 rappers, I'll just put it in a different book. What do you think about that? Because that way I could at least get it out quicker, and then by the end of this year, I'm pretty much done with the 2021 book because, you know, I could just add the rest of the rappers that are going to die this year. And then that way I could just do it year by year instead of just putting it all together in one.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's all I got to say.
Yeah.
My book sales were super disappointing. And I mean, it does cost money if you want to have it printed. So if in case the first book isn't supported like the way you want it to be, then you're going to be like, do I want to invest in printing the second book? So,
okay.
You might just want to put all your research in there and just make it as good as possible for now. And then if people support, then boom. I mean, there's going to be plenty of material for your next book anyway, based on what we talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But it's up to you. I mean, just, I mean, you're going to make your point loud and clear. So.
Right. But I mean, just, the thing is that every week it's another dead rapper, so you just got to add more and more and more. So let me give you another one from. Let me give you one from 2020, which was I thought was interesting. So this is, I'm like in October of 2020 now. There was a lot of dead rappers in October of last year. It was probably like the deadliest month out of all the months. So okay, so here we have Elzo Bands was a Newark, New Jersey rapper who was shot and killed on 10/8/2020. Newark, New Jersey, 83, murder 83. Elzo Bands equals 42 in full reduction. The main number stamped on black people along with 59. There's a reason why in Detroit, the city in the US with the most blacks, you have rappers called 42 Doug and Royce the 5'9". Right. It's no coincidence. Elzo was a member of the Brim Bloods gang. Brim Bloods equals 109. Shooting equals 109. And the death was not reported until 10/9. 10/9. Right. Brim Bloods also equals 46. Slipknot's Joey Jordison was found dead at 46 years old. He was found dead on 7/26/2021, a date with 38 numerology. Slipknot has a song called Gematria, the killing name. Sacrifice and Slipknot both equal 46. The other founding member of Slipknot was Paul Gray, and he died at 38, 46 days after his birthday. Joey Jordison died on a 38 date numerology at age 46. It's almost like the opposite of Paul Gray, right?
I screwed up in my decode because I forgot to mention that Slipknot equals 46. So it's just like, look how
Slipknot equals 46, right?
It's amazing how people watched that video and thought it was dumb. They're like, this is stupid. It's just like, oh my God. Just remember out there, people, when retards tell you that what you're doing stupid, it doesn't count. It's just like a retard can't judge what stupid is. So,
right. You have no validity. You have no.
Yeah. Show me why it's stupid, dumbass. Because you made letters into numbers. It's like, okay, because you're ignorant of that. I mean, just get the fuck out of here. I'm just sick of these people.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just found this website. I got to start following this website. You probably already know about it. hiphopdx.com. Do you know about this website?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They got this is the way to keep up with all the stuff going wrong in hip hop. 42 Doug right there in the headlines. 42 Doug apologizes for homophobic rants. Here's a DJ. Wasn't DJ Premier connected to
Guru?
Yeah, he's connected to Guru's death. He's in the headlines here. Jay-Z gave DJ Premier a diamond pendant for the 25th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt. Well, in light of what we know about 25, DJ Premier better look out. It might be his time. I see he's 55 right now. You know what's funny? Okay, look at that. DJ Premier's birthday is 21/3. March 21st, 213, and that story's today on the 213th day of the year. DJ Premier better watch out.
Yeah. So,
25. Death 25.
That's huge at 25. Just like I said, G Herbo, he dropped a song. He dropped an album called 25, and he tells people the reason he dropped it was because he's 25 years old at the moment. But what about? I mean, but is that the whole story? Like, what about the rest of what goes wrong with 25? Time and death. I mean, they don't give you the full story. It's almost like you're expected to read between the lines. Like they give you clues, but you got to be smart enough to see it. You know what I mean?
Right. You got to have enough IQ points to connect the dots. I'm just thinking this DJ Premier, he turned 55 in March. That means he's in his 56th year of his life. I'm just thinking Rockefeller 56, Rockefeller Records. DJ Premier must have done that album, Reasonable Doubt.
He made a few tracks. He didn't make all the tracks.
Okay, well, he's the one that's singled out on this story here. So,
and it's amazing too how like with that group Gangstar, like out of all the groups in hip hop, right? Like DJ Premier, he gets just as much credit as Guru does, and you don't hardly ever see that in a two-person group. Like,
it's normally the lyricists,
right? Just like Eric B and Rakim. Everybody, Rakim gets more props, or he's more known than Eric B is. But with this particular group, DJ Premier, he's just as famous as Guru. And then we did that live about Guru's death. How it was all hooked up with the Celtics.
It was just a perfect ritual. We just broke it down in real time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the reason I'm talking about a rap group, just to finish this part about Slipknot, the reason I'm talking about a rock group in a book about hip hop is to show you that these rituals happen in all entertainment, not just hip hop. Drummer killing, gematria, and English all equal 38 in full reduction. Go back in history and notice how many drummers either die at 38 or die on a date with 38 numerology. Gematria is geometry and language, and this rapper died on 10/8. The word geometry equals 108 in 2 out of 4 ciphers. So I was just doing these. Let's see what else. Oh, here's another one. So on Quam Bands was another 38 special. Quam Bands equals 38. He died on 10/6/2020 from gun violence. This was a date with 56 numerology, and it left 86 days left in the year. Blood sacrifice 86, human sacrifice 86. 10/6 is kind of like 106, prophecy 106, destroy 106, entertain 106, Black Lives Matter equals 106. So that was like the first time I introduced the 106 in the book. That was kind of late, but that's when it happened, because that was the best example for the 106. So that's the first time I talked about 106 at all.
Okay.
So all right, so here we have Bout a Dollar Butter. Bout a Dollar Butter was a Greenville, South Carolina rapper. He was shot and killed by a single gunshot on October 5th, 2020. Single gunshot equals 64. Kill equals 64, along with the rest of the 64s like Zion. Oh, I need to add that Zion is from South Carolina, the basketball player. So Greenville equals 109, shooting 109. It was a tragedy. Tragedy equals 109 because he was one of South Carolina's most promising artists. He coined the moniker BAD and was rising in notoriety. NBA player Kevin Garnett co-signed him earlier in 2020 and paid tribute to him after the killing. Keep in mind, Kevin Garnett equals 56 in full reduction. Garnett is from this area in South Carolina, and his nickname BAD Butter equals 17, shot 17, rap 17. October 5th, 2020 was a date with 55 numerology. Bad Butter 55, Greenville 55. And so when I did this, when I did About a Dollar Butter, it slipped my mind that Kevin Garnett is from South Carolina. And it's funny how I put 60, that Zion equals 64, and I just thought about how Zion is from South Carolina too, the basketball player.
Yeah.
So that's just, that's just a little bit about what I've been writing lately.
Do you look at any of the latest stuff? Did you look at the Fetty Wap daughter thing? I guess we could look it up right now if you haven't.
Yeah, let's look it up. Yeah, I just saw that before we went live.
So the news breaks today on 8/1. Again, his daughter's 4. The number associated with death. It's 8/1. Rituals 81. It's a Sunday. His birthday is June 7th. So that means today is 55 days after his birthday, or it's his 56th day of his age. We know what's up with 56. That's the Jesuit number. It's just like after Tupac's death, the Machiavelli album came out with him on the cross on the day leaving 56 days left in the year. Remember the 5th of November, the day associated with the Jesuits. But I haven't looked up the what they're saying, what day she died, but the news broke today. But today's his 56th day of his age. With regards to the 55 days after his birthday, I mean, like Satan's 55, blood sacrifice is 257, the 55th prime. And again, today's the 213th day of the year, 213, another number associated with death. So, yeah. What do you say at the beginning of the song? 1738. So
1738. Yep. It's a rapper named Hot Boy from Orlando, right? He's in jail right now, and for racketeering charges, right? And he's in a gang called 438. 438. Like those are like possibly like the worst numbers you could have for a rap group or for a gang. And of course, there's good sides to every number, but I'm just pointing out how we're just pointing out how 4 and 38, 44, 64, how these numbers are used repeatedly, like in the same ritual over and over and over again.
Exactly. I mean, how many times have we talked about shooting in 44? Now we have another example today with the Gonzo thing. I mean, it just couldn't be any more clear.
And like I said, that my prediction is going to hit. It's going to be a dead rapper tomorrow. 8-3. 8-3 always hits.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Tuesday. Tuesday is August 3rd.
You know, so it's just they got this all planned out, and it's just amazing how they do it. Like I get, and I feel your frustration. You know, I see why you've been frustrated lately because people they just don't get it. Like they're just slow. Like
yeah, it's just like when people in the game, it's like the worst agenda ever that everyone should be able to see through it, and they just don't. They're just marching right along. It's like,
and that's why I'm writing a book on hip hop because that's, and I'm keeping it simple. You know, like if you read my book, right, there's not too many numbers I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about the same numbers over and over again. 46, 106, 64, 38, the number 4, of course. And most of these rappers are like 19 years old. A bunch of them are. You know, it's the same. And then when if a rapper dies in Colorado, I point out how Colorado equals 38. So I'm trying to make the book real simple. It's like a gematria for dummies. You know, like
you got to do it, man. That's the way you got to do it. Yeah. I noticed one other thing about Fetty Wap. His birth name is Willie Maxwell, which equals 61 in the most pure cipher, which is the 18th prime. I had a theory that both 61s would play today in baseball. The Marlins picked up their 61st loss against the Yankees in a series that was synced up with Derek Jeter. And the Padres got their 61st win today. And again, 61's the 18th prime. Back in the day, Roger Maris with the Yankees hit 61 home runs in 61. 61, the 18th prime. Baseball, 18 days, 1/8 like 18. So Willie Maxwell, 61 on the date 1/8. We're reading about the death of his daughter. I doubt that's a coincidence. Again, that's the same thing I noticed a long time ago. I didn't start by decoding sports when I started this, but I started to realize, like, wait a minute, they're doing the same stuff with like this news story that they're doing with this sports game right here. And then I was like, wow, they're doing this every day. Unreal, man.
right. It's like you said, I heard you say one day people need to take a statistics class, and I think that's good advice.
Yeah, because I mean the shit we show every day is improbable.
Let me show you something about the first rapper that died in 2021. This was the very first rapper that died that was reported by the media.
Wasn't it a girl?
No, well, that was 2020.
Yeah. See, it already seems like, man, that's how much fast time's going by. All right.
Yeah, I know. We're almost in 2022. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So check this out. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. So now we talked about this a little bit at the time it happened, but we didn't go deep into it. So Kenny Lou. So follow me, right? Kenny Lou, the first rapper that was reported by the media to die in 2021 was Kenny Lou. Kenny Lou equals 102 in English ordinal. The media reported his death on 1/02. Slavery equals 102. Kenny Lou and slavery match in 3 out of 4 base ciphers. The NFL is entering its 102nd season, and take notice how black quarterbacks will dominate the season. Kenny Lou died on 1/1/2021, but it wasn't reported until the 2nd, right? So kind of like 102.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Lou was a rapper from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His death was a huge clue that the Milwaukee Bucks would win the 2021 NBA championship.
You know that I didn't know about? That there was a State Farm commercial with Chris Paul where a deer is tearing up a garage, and garage equals 39 like Arizona, and the Bucks got the 39th championship for the East. I mean, they told it all in that commercial. I didn't know about that until after finals. By the way, before you go any further, I got to shut down this nonsense in the chat. Okay. This right here is a collage that a truth seeker made me about all the bullshit with 56, you guys. This isn't me showing off 56 in the background, okay? So somebody made that and sent it to me. You know, just like Miss Mildred made this right here. Miss Mildred made this 56 collage. It's just, these are collages of all the bullshit going on with the number and just the way people showed me these things because they're trying to educate people these ways. So I have them back here. So again, it's not like we're paying tribute to 56 here. It's just these are things people have done, and I've showed this stuff in other live streams. And just, you know, lately I have up Franco's drawing because it's easier for, you know, it shows up better on the computer screen. Franco's drawing is big. So anyway, just stop with all the nonsense. Zach's flashing the 56 in the background. Just shut the fuck up, man.
That's a pretty good work, though.
Yeah, people made that and sent it to me in my PO box, man.
Yeah, it's good. Very artistic.
Yeah. So, and the Miss Mildred, all those little things on there around the 56 with the Jesuit logo are just a bunch of words that are 56. She put a lot of time into that. So, again, that's just the way people have been creative and the things they've been making to try and wake other people up.
Shout out to Miss Mildred. She did a good job on that.
Yeah. All right, back to the thing. Sorry, I just had to put out the chat.
Okay, so I was talking about Kenny Lou, right? So Kenny Lou, his death, he was the first rapper to die in 2021, as reported by the media. His death was a huge clue that the Bucks would win the 2021 NBA championship. Keep in mind, this was right before the Tampa Bay Bucks won Super Bowl 55. The media reported that he died near Hampton Avenue in Milwaukee. Hampton equals 102. Kenny Lou, 102. Slavery, 102.
Yeah.
Now,
what else? You know what else I really need to go back and do? Because I've been lazy and just haven't even wanted to look. But remember last year when the Bucks just laid down? You supposedly had the racially charged shooting, and then 56th Street burned in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and the Bucks were like, I don't even know if we feel like playing basketball anymore. And then they just got wasted in the playoffs. And then this next season, then they ended up winning the finals. It just reminds me of when Virginia got beat by the 16 seed on March 16th. And then the next year they came back and won the championship. And
I remember that Kenosha story because
I bet it's all synced up if we go back and look. The Kenosha shooting to the finals. I bet you there's a perfect ritual there. I haven't even explored that yet, but I'm sure it's there.
I've actually been to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and that's what made the story stand out to me because I've been there, and yeah, I definitely remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave us some clues, just like you said, the State Farm commercial, with the deer. So 34 is a number that Giannis wears, the 2021 NBA Finals MVP who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. Recall, murder and rapper both equal 34 in gematria. The murder of Kenny Lou happened just after midnight near 34th and Hampton Avenue. His real name is Kenyatta Cox. Kenyatta Cox equals 139. This number is huge in the death of rappers, as I have shown. Look back at what I wrote about on GB Tribavelli and 139. Kenyatta Cox also equals 59. Kenny Lou was 23 years old, and the female he was with was 22 years old. And she was also killed. And when you add 23 plus 22, it equals 45. 45 is the perfect ritual and hip-hop number to start the year 2021 off with. Both words equals 45, ritual and hip-hop. So when you add his age and her age, 23 plus 22, you get 45. So, yeah, that was the first death of 2021. Kenny Lou, and that was a big, huge clue on what the Bucks were about to do.
Indeed, that's how they do it. So, Hank Aaron started out in Milwaukee, Paul Westphal for the Suns dead at the beginning of the season.
And then remember, Milwaukee was a 56 team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Suns, both of them.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of this, so now there's a lot of
one other thing, Jonathan, is the
yeah.
DMX thing, because DMX's funeral was in the Nets stadium, and then the Nets got eliminated exactly 56 days later, and that was 263 days after Durant's birthday, the 56th prime, and he picked up his 56th loss in the postseason, getting eliminated. And then it was the Bucks who did the eliminating, and Bucks equals 34. And remember, DMX, his news came on April 3rd, a date that can be written 3-4. So somehow, I guess the DMX thing actually was for the Bucks. It looks like, because it was clearly connected to the NBA in that ritual. But then 3-4 was the date of his news. Bucks 34. They keep the West on 34 championships. Giannis in the number 34.
Right, murder and rapper 34.
How does DMX end up getting sacrificed for a Milwaukee team, though? That's just the thing that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, I guess the NBA league offices in New York, maybe that's all that matters. So,
and then this rapper was found dead on 34th Street. This rapper from Milwaukee.
Yeah. That's how they do it. Rapper 34, Bucks 34. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I think sometimes they just give it to you just like that. The death of a rapper, a commercial like the State Farm commercial. Sometimes they just put it like right in your face, literally.
Yeah, they do. They really do. That's what they always do.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah.
So there's a big uproar in the hip hop community because Lil Nas X has this video, and it's caused a huge uproar. And he's in a prison. Well, he's the way the video starts is he's in trial, and the judge sentences him to, I believe, life in prison for being gay. And so he's in a prison, and then all the inmates are in the video. They're all dancing and twerking and acting very feminine, right? And so like they're in the shower, whole 9 yards. They're in the shower together. Now Jack Harlow is also in this video, but the first time you see Jack Harlow, he's with the female prison guard. So when it's time for Jack Harlow's verse, he's with the female prison guard. But other than that, they're just a bunch of guys dancing together, and you could tell, and they're in pink too. It's real sick, but I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I haven't.
It's really, really disgusting. But so because of this video, rappers like DaBaby, T.I., 42 Doug, they've been making all these homophobic statements, right?
Right, that's the focus.
Yeah, that's the focus. Yeah, like with everything going on, this is what they want to distract you with.
And it just reminds you how weak the times are. Like, I guess homophobic is really a part of hip hop culture. I mean, how many verses are there about faggot? There's a lot.
Exactly. And so now
it's not just hip hop culture. It's just like that's the way it used to be. Like in the 90s, you didn't want to be a faggot. And when people said the word, it wasn't like, oh my God, you said that word. It's just like, yeah, maybe he has a point. So
yeah, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about here in a second. So DaBaby, he's been dropped from Lollapalooza, and these rappers are getting a lot of backlash. But the thing about it in the hip hop that we grew up with, it was a lot different. And so just to your point, the song of the week is by Brand Nubian, and it's called "Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down."
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. This is it right here. So now, I've always loved Brand Nubian, right? But this is their most popular song, and in my opinion, this is their best song. This is one of their most popular songs. So Now, if you watch the video, right? Now they are using that word faggot, gay, but the people that they're beating up on the train, they're not. They're just like they just look like regular guys, because we used the word loosely back then. It wasn't like you had to be, you had to be a gay to be a faggot. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You get called a faggot when you just acting like a bitch.
Exactly. If you're doing something wrong, you might be called a faggot. So just stop it.
Yeah. Or we used to play, like I said, we talked about this before. We used to play football on the street, tackle football on the street, right? And you didn't want to play, you get called a faggot. You know what I'm saying? Like we just grew up in tougher times. In the 90s, when we grew up, it was just a lot different.
Right. You weren't supposed, I mean, yeah, like, you weren't supposed to be soft and you weren't supposed to be, exactly, you weren't supposed to be a bitch. Now that's the way everybody is. So you're offending everybody if you call it out. And again, how did that happen? How did everybody get so effeminate?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, Lil Nas X was on the BET Awards. He's kissing a man on TV, on live TV. Yeah, I don't want my kids watching that kind of shit. I don't want you know what I mean? I don't want my daughter, but my daughter is, I've educated my daughter to know what the agenda is, so she knows what's up with it. She even says when she listens to a female rapper, they all rap about all these new female rappers. They all rap about the same thing, which is sex. So she doesn't even really listen to it anymore because she's noticed that all these female rappers talk about the same thing. So song number 493 is by Brand Nubian, and it's called Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. And we're going to read the lyrics and shout out to Lord Jamar.
Okay.
Now, remember, Lord Jamar is the person who discovered Dead Prez, one of the most important hip-hop groups of all time. Now, the Brand Nubian's music was it was really about uplifting yourself. They had songs like "Don't Let It Get to Your Head." When you get all this fame and money and power, don't let it get to your head. They had a song called "All for One." It was about unity. It was just so different because back then you couldn't bite somebody else's style. Brand Nubian had their own style. De La Soul had their own style. Tribe Called Quest, Black Sheep, the Jungle Brothers, on and on and on. It was not allowed for you to bite someone else's style. Now, if you don't sound like everybody else, you're not gonna make it.
Right.
So now on the first verse is by Brand Nubian is consists of Sadat X and Lord Jamar, as well as Grand Puba. And notice Sadat X, he really went in on this first verse. And then Lord Jamar does the second verse. The thing about this song is that Grand Puba's not on this song, but it's still very relevant. And this is what hip hop used to be. It used to be masculine. So it used to be. So the way it starts is get nothing but abuse. That's how it starts. So they're just screaming in the background, get nothing but abuse. And so Sadat X, he starts the verse, and he had one of the most unique verses too of all time, just like Guru, or even Jay-Z. Jay-Z, when you hear Jay-Z, you know that's him. But Sadat X had one of those voices. Or when you hear Chuck D, you know that's him. So Sadat X starts the verse. He says, "One day when I was riding on the train, I seen these two kids talking about the Nubian rain had fallen. I didn't say nothing because these kids caught my goat, even wore my coat like a murder that they wrote. So this kid with mouth swagger, and I'll blaze the cloak and dagger. So I gotta show Dukes the macho lot that I am." So he uses that word. I gotta show Dukes the macho lot that I am. So that's to my point. It was about masculinity. I can rock a jam, make the world drop ham. See, they used to throw in. Now, one thing about Brand Nubian, they didn't have the most complicated lyrics of all time, but they would drop jewels in their rhymes, and it would make you think. So he goes, "I can rock a jam, make the world drop ham." They didn't eat pork, They were so that's just a slick way to give you a good line to make you do something that, because pork's not really good for you, right? So he goes, "I can rock a jam, make the world drop ham. Oh yes, I'm the bad man, and bad men wear black. And if it comes to dropping bombs, yo, I'm with that. Though I can freak, fly, flow, fuck up a faggot. Don't understand their ways. I ain't down with gays." Now you got to realize that when they made the video, they made them change those words. But this is how the original song was made. But now when you hear it or on the video, they edited it a little bit. But this is how the original song was made. So he says, plus this is nothing against gay people anyway. We're just showing what hip hop used to be. So, and what it compared to what it is now, right? You want to grab the style that was made from my mom and my dad? When I was young, I used to run with the notepad. Then time flew and somehow I knew that I was bad to the bone. Black prodigy since the age of 20. I could write a rhyme, rip it up, and write a next one right on the spot. Sign my name with the dot. Diamond D threw me some smooth shit. Diamond D is who produced the track. So he goes, Diamond D threw me some smooth shit. Bronx crowd roar. Stick up your whack jam. Everybody hit the floor. Okay, it's you, Slim, the hard rock of the pack. See how he's emphasizing he was the hard rock. He was the macho. He'll fuck up for faggot. I ain't down with gays. This is what hip hop used to be, and this is what we used to respect about it. Right? If this was hardcore hip hop. Right? There's no other way around it.
And it was more than hip hop too, though. I mean, it was just what culture was. I mean, this thing of it being cool to be gay and making a big deal about Pride Month every June. It's just like, this isn't it was never this way before. This is the new agenda. So, and you just started to realize everything is depopulation, man. You got more gay people. They're not having kids, Everything they're doing is about depopulation. So they need more gay people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're shoving it down people's throats. Now, can you imagine Lil Nas X? He wouldn't have been able to exist back in the 90s.
No.
So, and it's funny how how on the song like this, Punk Ship Up to Get Beat Down, remember you mentioned back then, okay, on another live stream we did that, we went from, what happened? We went from Malcolm X to DMX, but Sadat X was before DMX. So you have Malcolm X, Sadat X, DMX, and now Lil Nas X.
Right. DMX died on Lil Nas X's birthday. Right.
And then you also had Professor X. So you can see the transition of these X rappers. Like, now the biggest X is Lil Nas X, the biggest X today.
Yeah, what a change.
Yeah. And you see you see how aggressive Sadat X was rapping on this song. So let me go back to where was I? Okay. So don't want to kneel to the brothers, you must be hollering. Bust some shit in his chest. Now his whole body swollen. Why did I have to do it? He asked for it. His man saw it, so it don't mean shit to me. He's gone. That's how it's supposed to be. Check it out now. I ain't going out, man. That short shit is dead. Have you heard what I said? If not, ask the dread. So he points at that point in the video, he points at Lord Jamar when he says, if not, ask the dread. He got a cannon that's bad, similar to the one I got from my own dad. So So it goes into the hook. It goes into the hook. Punk jump up to get beat down, and the beat was sinister. Diamond D. It's just one of those memorable beats. You know, like you hear the beat and you know that you had to rap real aggressive on it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So now here's Lord Jamar's verse. This is the second verse after the hook. Your punk ass will be grass, quick, fast, like my name was Flash. When a nigga tried to rob me for my cash, you thought you had a sweet Vic, a nice pick, but you didn't anticipate that I might be sick. So in the video, they're walking on the train. He's walking through the subway, and somebody tries to reach for Lord Jamar's pocket and try to rob him for He tries to rob him for his cash, and then so Lord Jamar jumps on him and beats his ass on the video, right? You couldn't even show nothing like that today.
Sure.
So that's why on that line he says, you thought you had a sweet Vic, a nice pick, but you didn't anticipate that I might be sick. And that's when he jumps on him. Now who's the trick? Cause I'm not a hoe. No. I always do the fucking, just might do the bucking. That's funny, right? I leave my Nike stuck in your rectum, so he kicks him in his ass. He's kicking his ass, literally. So till you learn brand Nubian, yo, you gotta respect them. Dissect them. Yo, our word is bond regardless. To whom or what? Now do the Puma strut and step the fuck off before I punch you in your face with the motherfucking bass. So now the dude's on the ground, bloody, right? Then you're gonna taste blood in your mouth. It's gonna flush south to the ground, and you're gonna know I don't fuck around. So if you think you had two soft New Jacks, we're gonna have to top you off with a few cracks to the jaw, and you won't pop that shit no more. Explaining to your friends why you're laying on the floor, right? So he's on the floor, right? The guy that tried to rob him for the cash. He's laying on the floor, bloody now at this point. And then so he proceeds to say, "Did you want some more?" I didn't think so. Just got whipped like a faggot in the clink. So I suggest you take your bloody mess and find a piece of wire, fix your broken jaw, then it's time to retire. Lord Jamar will live long because I give strong blows to the heads of my foes. Dread flows gives me power as it grows. Watch how Ross Clouda you cast the speed knot. Heat knot and hell will be your home. Lord Jamar Sadat as we swell your dome. And that's it. That's the end of Jamar's verse. And then the hook comes back in. Punch jump up to get beat down. And they say it 4 times. Punch jump up to get beat down. That's how the hook goes. But what I want you to notice is that notice how Lord Jamar on this verse he says, "I didn't think so. Just got whipped like a faggot in the clink." So you just got whipped like a faggot in jail, right? And now look at what hip hop is, right? They're making videos and they're promoting these faggots in jail, and they're in a pink jumpsuit, and they're twerking like women, very feminine behavior, right? So
and as the signs of the times, everything's upside down. So
yeah. So notice he's talking about you just got whipped like a faggot in the clink, and now this is what they promote. They're promoting people going to jail and being gay. This is what they promote in hip hop, because they promote drill music. They promote going out and doing drills, selling drugs, pimping, and all this stuff is illegal and it could lead you to prison. See what I'm saying? But this is what they want. This is what they want this is the reaction that they're trying to get. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I thought that this song would be appropriate for this week is based off all the black backlash that people in hip hop are getting because they don't approve with the Lil Nas X shit.
Yeah, why weren't Madonna and Elton John speaking out about 90s hip hop? It's just, the same reason there wasn't a movie about Elton John getting fucked in the ass in the 90s. But if you didn't know, they made a movie about Elton John's sex life. I forget what they called it, but So again, we just live in the times where that's just the promotion now. That's what they want people to be into. They want people to be gay. Helps with the population.
Yeah, and if you're in prison and gay, that's even better because
Yeah.
you're a slave for the state. The state gets paid off of you being in there. Every day you're in there, you get paid, and then you're gay. That's exactly what they want. And Lil Nas X is their perfect slave for this ritual. That's why. See, but by people giving him all this backlash, it's publicity, it's promotion. There's no such thing as bad promotion. You know, Lil Nas X has been in the news all year, starting from the Satan shoes, starting from when he gave the devil a lap dance, and then the 666 shoes, and now he's got this video in prison with all these faggots running around. And if you look on, let me look on YouTube. This video has millions and millions of views. Like, our work should have billions of views, but this is you telling me this is what people are into? Let me look at how many views it's got, because it's got to be a real sick number. Okay, so the video is called "Industry Baby," and "Industry Baby." It's been out 1 week, and it has 55 million views.
55 again is Satan. He just did his Satan shoes.
55, and they're actually dancing. They're actually dancing like completely naked in this video. Grown black men dancing naked in the video. And then he has the white boy, Jack Harlow, right? He has a white boy, Jack Harlow, but when you see Jack, you see him with the female. You see what I'm saying? Like they want the black man to be gay, but when they show the white guy, he's straight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you talk about subliminal messages, right?
That's something they've always reported in the mainstream, is that black people are more likely to be gay. And there's part of me wonders, like, is that true, or is that just more made up bullshit?
I think that's all horseshit.
Black people are more likely to be gay. That's always been a mainstream thing.
You know, but I wonder if I wonder how they went. I wonder how, like, why would Jack Harlow even be down to even be participate in something like that? You know, so that goes to show you they get told what to do.
Choice. I mean, do they even have a choice?
They get told what to do. Yeah. So, yeah, 55 million views. But his other video, Montero, where he's giving the devil a lap dance, has 312 million views. Almost half a million views.
I see in the chat right now, Jay with Open Eyes wants to call in. He says he has something about Lil Nas X we need to know. Here, I'm going to open up the phone line for Jay with Open Eyes. And if I remember right, he has an Atlanta area code. So if I don't see Atlanta, I'm not picking up. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, that was pretty much my presentation anyway.
Well, here, let's see if he can add to it with what he's got to say. For all the people asking if something's wrong with me in the chat, I'm just tired. That's all. I'm just tired. I'm fine. Been going to bed at 9 p.m. all week and getting up super early. All right, I think we got him here, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Did y'all? I just wanted to ask y'all. Did y'all know that it was a news story about DMX having to wear pink in prison?
Oh yeah, I wrote
in Arizona in Maricopa County. That's what they do.
I wrote about that in the book.
Yeah, and now Lil Nas X is wearing a pink jumpsuit in that prison video. Okay. When DMX died on Lil Nas X's birthday.
What was DMX in prison in Arizona? Why was he in Arizona in prison?
I don't even know.
I wrote it down here. Hold on, let me look at it.
Arizona does equal 42 if that's all part of the ritual. Maybe that's why. They say he overdosed late on 4/2, April 2nd. The news broke April 3rd.
But if you go to the calculator and you write out pink, it equals 50 and 22. So I think that's the only color that if you write it out equals 50 or 22. But it equals 50 and 22. And of course, DMX died at age 50 on Lil Nas X's 22nd birthday, and now they doing all this pink shit with them.
Yeah, that seems a little bit too perfect.
Yeah.
He died on April 9th. Yeah.
So let me see what I got it right here. Hold on. You said about the about why he was in prison. Let's see. Hold on.
It's just crazy how they get away with this shit. Like Lil Nas X wearing pink in prison, and DMX having to wear pink in prison, being dead on his birthday, and it's always synced up mathematically too.
They're really good with their rituals.
50.
Yeah. Good observation, though. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nah.
Oh, here it is right here. Okay.
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, that was a good addition. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
All right. Keep it up, man.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel, too. Jay with open eyes. Just leave the H off the with, and you'll find it.
I'm going to check it out. So this is what I wrote. DMX once did 7 months in a Maricopa County prison. This is on the DMX part. Phoenix is in Maricopa County. When he was locked up, Joseph Michael Arpaio equals 94, was the sheriff to correspond with the other 94s and 49s I mentioned earlier. He used to make the inmates wear pink, and DMX was one of them. They were clothed in pink jumpsuits and pink underwear. Pink equals 50. Maricopa is 40 and 50. DMX equals 40, and he's dead at 50. Circles 50, America 50, and at the time of this incident, DMX was 40 years old.
And just that again, because his thing was connected with the NBA season too. It ended up being the Phoenix, Arizona team versus the Bucks. Somehow, all this stuff, man, it is all part of a sick script.
Yes. Now, now Wells Fargo. Check this out, right? This is off subject, right? Wells Fargo, the bank, has ties to slavery, right? But guess what their routing number starts with? Just take a guess of what Wells Fargo's routing number starts with.
Well, with the slavery thing, it's got to be a 59 or a 42 or.
It's the most obvious number.
For slavery?
For see, yeah. Wells Fargo, the bank, has ties to slavery, and their routing number starts with 102.
102. That'd be the other slavery number. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Their routing number starts with 102. Huh. That's just something I found out today.
Well, all money, banking, slavery, it's all money related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, that's pretty much all I had, though.
All right, we can leave it there because I'm falling asleep. But I appreciate it as always, Jonathan. Great research, and I mean, the thing is that we really could be here every week just covering. It's the same stuff every single week, man.
Yeah, it is.
So, and we'll probably be back here in a few days, like you said. 8-3 is just days away. Who's gonna bite the dust this year?
And also remember that on 8/4, it's Obama's birthday, and it's the 1-year anniversary of FEG's Duck's death,
and Beirut blowing up.
And we might have a rapper from Chicago. I mean, Chicago's probably the most obvious place, but
Obama's gonna turn 60 this year. 60.
So I mean, it's probably not going to be a good month for rappers this month either. You know, August was pretty deadly last year.
It never is. Never is.
But it's crazy how just people just line up to be a rapper. Like, you know, like I said, I got 200 rappers dead in 2020. I got at least over 50 dead this year. And people still just line up to be a rapper. When we was growing up, it was cool to be a rapper. But now it's like it's not even cool to be a rapper. And you know, in the 90s, it was cool to be a rapper. Now it's not even cool to be a rapper because of not only the gay agenda, but just the fact that you could be like what I pointed out with Avenue Runt. You could be a rapper with one video, one or two videos, and you get targeted. And he was shot. This Avenue Runt was a West Palm Beach rapper, shot and killed, and he only had two videos, and the one video that he had didn't even have 6,000 views. So you could be a nobody, you could be an absolute nobody and still be targeted just because you're in this line of work.
There was that white rapper who died earlier this year. His name was like Six Dog or something.
Six Dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even got to him yet.
But I just remember how the article mentioned that, like, at the time of his death, his net wealth was believed to be around 100,000. It's like, what are they trying to say with that right there? Are they like saying he sold his soul for $100,000 or?
But how you see that's how you know it's bullshit, because how you worth $100,000 when you only get like 3 cents a stream or something? Like my nephew has like 6 albums out on
Well,
all
track with the soda company out of Detroit, right? They mentioned something about that in the article, and that's how we were looking at it. We're like, look how this is synced up with this soda company. Is this like what they're saying? He sold his soul to this soda company. And I guess that soda company is like connected to Insane Clown Posse, who's also out of Detroit. Of course, Eminem and Insane Clown Posse.
I didn't know about the soda part. I gotta
go back and look at it all. But
I gotta research it, yeah. But my point is, my nephew has like 6 albums out on Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms, right? And he's only made like maybe $100, $150 off of 6 albums, because you get like a penny a stream or something. So how you telling me that this somebody who's nobody ever heard of, 6 Dogs, has 100,000? How? Like, it can't be off of streams. You know what I mean? Because streams don't pay shit.
Yeah. So soda contract, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I'll get back with you next time. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be back here soon. So.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be wrong about August 3rd. So we might be back August 3rd.
You know, and it's going to be probably synced up with Brady or something, or like you said, a rapper from Baltimore.
So somebody said in the chat that DMX recorded his first album in Baltimore. I know he's got some verse about slow like Baltimore or something like that. So I don't know. Is DMX from Baltimore?
He's not from there, but I think he lived down there he went down there for a minute. Yeah, he went down there for a minute. He was born in Yonkers. But
yeah, he's young.
I think he does have some kind of ties to Baltimore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah.
DMX, don't forget, he did that song 24 Hours to Live. He died 24 years later. Black Rob's on that song too. He died. DMX, X, the 24th letter. So,
and it could be, or it could be a rapper from Florida, because Lamar Jackson's from Florida. You know, this season, Lamar Jackson is going to have a huge year this year.
He went to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
For people who forget, Lamar Jackson, his breakout year, he was a 19-year-old. It was right after the 19-mile funeral procession from Muhammad Ali. Remember, 19 is the number in the Quran code. And what was hilarious is the whole time Lamar Jackson was in college, his birthday was the exact same as Muhammad Ali's. And then when he went to the NFL, all the online things changed what his birthday was. It's like, wait a minute, man. How's his birthday going to change now that he's in the NFL? But hey, had they not given him the new birthday, they couldn't have just done this 201 ritual with the Corona. Or never mind, that was synced up with the Super Bowl, not his birthday. But yeah. Again, it just shows you, man. I mean, just like these people that we know, like who even knows what information about them that they put out there is real? It could be given to us all in the way that they got their lives planned and scripted. So just like the rapper who we talked about, Gonzo, his his hip hop group equals 45. He ends up dying at age 45 on Ice Cube's 45th day of his age when Ice Cube was behind the group. I mean,
right. And then he leaves that group and he goes to another group called the Regime, and the Regime equals 45.
yeah, another perfect, exactly, and then dies at 45. So,
Hip.
yeah. Just the more I look at that Gonzo thing, I'm like, look at all the rituals on this, and it's just, yeah, man. It's like, how can't people wake up to this? Come on, man. The 213th day that you're in a car with all that we've ever talked about with the Tupac and 213. I mean, come on. Somehow, Jonathan, your sound went off. I don't know what happened to your sound. It's not on my end. Somehow his sound went off.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah, the other thing is with the 213 and Gonzo, it's like you're right. Like he was supposed to be like an unofficial member of the Outlaws, but I don't think that he was like that close to Tupac. I never really heard of them being that close.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think he's in any Outlaws songs. I don't think he's in any songs. So I don't even know how you become am I an unofficial member of the Outlaws? I'm an unofficial friend of Tupac.
Right. Right. And if he was, then that's just back to that example. If he was an unofficial member of the Outlaws, it goes to show you how many members of the Outlaws have died. Big Syke, Tupac, Gonzo, Napoleon. No, not Napoleon.
Gaddafi? Did he do?
Yeah, Gaddafi. The other one was a big one too.
I've covered them all over the years, but their names escape me. But yeah, I mean, they've all been big rituals. A lot of them have happened just in the time I've been aware of this gematria, and we've covered them all as they've happened. But yeah, and it's been the same stuff year after year after year. So
Hussein Fatal, that's the big one.
Yeah,
Hussein Fatal, Big Syke, Gaddafi, Tupac, now Gonzo, right? All these people are dead. Like you don't want to be an official or unofficial member of the Outlaws because most of them are dead.
Yeah,
the only one. Okay, Napoleon's still alive, but he was just in the hospital for something was going on with him. I don't know if it was COVID, but a lot of these members are dead. So
yeah. People in the hip hop world, they don't seem to live that long on average. So, and they all seem to go out by very repetitive patterns.
Yeah, and that's what the book. That's what the book's going to be about. It's just showing these same numbers over and over again, and how you're going to see the 38 probably show up in almost every death. It's going to be like, it's just going to be like reading like a repetitive story. I guess you could put it that way.
That way, pattern should stick. So, make your point. All right, Jonathan. Well, I appreciate it, man, and I'm looking forward to you finishing the book. So keep us posted.
All right, I will.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Later, chat. Have a good night, everybody. Till next time.
Peace, y'all.